What if I told you that every word you speak, every sentence you hear, and even the thoughts you think are actively shaping your entire reality? Not just influencing it, but creating it, brick by brick, moment by moment. Think about the words you've used today. How did you describe yourself? How did you describe your circumstances? Were those words empowering, or did they reinforce limitations you've carried for years? Here's the truth they don't want you to know. Words are not just tools of communication, they are programming. They're spells you cast every day, consciously or unconsciously, and they have the power to shape your perception, your behavior, and ultimately, your life. Let's start with this. Have you ever noticed the way certain words seem to linger in your mind? Maybe it's something someone said to you years ago, an insult, a piece of criticism, or even a compliment. Those words didn't just disappear the moment they were spoken. They embedded themselves into your subconscious, replaying over and over like a song stuck in your head. And each time they replay, they shape the way you see yourself and the world around you. That's the power of words. They don't just describe reality, they create it. But it gets deeper. The very structure of language has been shaping human consciousness for thousands of years. In ancient cultures, words were seen as sacred. The Egyptians believed that to name something was to give it power. They understood that words carried energy, that to speak something was to breathe life into it. Even today we call it spelling, because every word we speak is, in a way, a spell. It's a declaration of how we see the world and our place in it. And here's the catch, most of us aren't even aware of the spells we're casting. Think about the phrases you use every day. I'm so unlucky. I'm terrible at this. I can't do it. Each time you say those words, you're reinforcing a belief. You're programming your mind to accept that version of reality. Your subconscious doesn't question the words you feed it. It simply absorbs them, turning them into your internal truth. And the more you repeat those phrases, the more they become your default way of thinking. But here's the thing. If words can program you into believing you're small, stuck, or limited, they can also program you into believing you're powerful, limitless, and free. Let's take a step back and look at the origins of some of the words we use without even thinking. Have you ever wondered why certain phrases feel heavy or disempowering? Take the word work, for example. Its roots trace back to concepts of suffering and toil. No wonder so many people feel weighed down by the idea of work. It's embedded in the very language we use to describe it. But what happens when you start calling your work your purpose or your contribution? The energy shifts. Suddenly it's no longer a burden, it's an offering, a part of your growth and expression. And it's not just about individual words. The entire structure of our language shapes how we see the world. In many Western languages, the focus is on doing, on action, achievement, and results. But in some indigenous languages, the focus is on being. There's an inherent connection to nature, to the present moment, to the flow of life. The words they use reflect a completely different way of experiencing reality, one that's rooted in harmony rather than control. This shows us that language isn't just a reflection of culture, it's a lens through which we perceive and interact with the world. Now here's where it gets even more fascinating. Studies have shown that words don't just affect us emotionally, they affect us physically. Take the groundbreaking work of Dr. Masaru Emoto. He studied how water molecules reacted to different words and intentions. When exposed to words like love and gratitude, the water formed beautiful, harmonious crystals. But when exposed to words like hate or anger, the crystals became chaotic and disjointed. And since the human body is mostly water, what do you think happens to your body when you're constantly surrounded by negative words? What do you think happens when those words come from your own thoughts? The good news is, you don't have to stay stuck in negative programming. The moment you become aware of the words you're using, you can begin to change them. You can start to reframe the way you talk to yourself, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of saying, I can't do this, try saying, I'm learning how to do this. Instead of, I'm terrible at this, try, I'm improving every day. These small shifts in language might seem insignificant, but they have a profound impact over time. Your brain starts to rewire itself, creating new neural pathways that support growth and confidence instead of fear and doubt. And it's not just about changing the words you say. It's about changing the words you think. Your internal dialogue is the most powerful tool you have for shaping your reality. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, doubting yourself, or replaying old stories of failure, you're reinforcing those patterns in your subconscious. But if you choose to speak to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and love, you start to create a new story. One where you're not defined by your past, but empowered by your potential. Now you might be wondering, what about the words I hear from others? What about the negative things people say to me? Here's the secret: other people's words only have power if you let them. You are the gatekeeper of your own mind. You get to decide which words you allow in and which ones you let go of. If someone speaks to you in a way that doesn't align with your truth, you don't have to accept it. You can simply say, "That's not my story, that's not my reality," and in doing so, you reclaim your power. But there's one more piece to this puzzle that most people overlook: the power of silence. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with noise, social media, news, conversations, it's easy to forget that silence is just as powerful as words. When you choose silence, you create space. Space to reflect, to reset, to listen to the deeper truths within you. Silence is where it's where you can step back from the noise and ask yourself, what do I really want to create? What story do I want to live? Because that's what this is all about, taking back control of your story, realizing that you are not a victim of the words you've been taught or the language you've inherited. You are the author of your reality, and every word you speak, think, or write is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. The question is, what kind of masterpiece do you want to create? So, now that you understand the profound power of your words, let's explore how they actively shape your reality in ways you might not even realize. Every word you speak is an instruction to your subconscious mind. It's like giving a blueprint to an architect and saying, "Build this." Whether those instructions are empowering or limiting, your subconscious takes them literally. It doesn't argue, it doesn't analyze, it simply accepts what you give it as truth and starts shaping your experience around that. Imagine waking up in the morning and saying, "I'm so tired, today's going to be a rough day." You might think you're just describing how you feel in the moment, but what you're really doing is planting seeds. Your subconscious hears that and says, "Okay, we're tired, today is going to be difficult. Let's make sure to look for evidence to support that." And throughout the day you'll find exactly what you've spoken into existence. Challenges, fatigue, frustration. Now imagine starting your day with a different phrase. "I feel energized and ready to handle whatever comes my way." Even if you don't fully believe it yet, your subconscious begins to adjust. It starts seeking out opportunities to prove you right. The way you talk to yourself in those quiet moments matters more than you can imagine. It's not just your personal reality that's affected by words. Language has the power to shape the collective reality of entire communities, societies, and even the world. Think about the words that dominate public discourse. Phrases like scarcity, division, and war. These words aren't neutral, they carry an energy that influences how we perceive the world. When people constantly hear and repeat these words, they start to believe that scarcity is inevitable, division is natural, and conflict is the only way forward. But what happens when we shift the language? What happens when we start speaking words like abundance, unity, and peace? The narrative changes, and with it the collective mindset begins to evolve. You see this in movements throughout history. Take the simple yet powerful phrase, "Yes, we can." Those 3 words carried an energy of possibility and hope that resonated with millions. They weren't just words. They were a call to action, a reprogramming of the collective belief system. The same is true for phrases like "Black Lives Matter" or "Love is Love." These words hold power because they challenge old paradigms and invite people to step into a new way of thinking. But while collective language is important, the most significant shift begins on an individual level. It starts with the words you use to describe yourself and your life. Think about the labels you've attached to yourself over the years. "I'm shy," "I'm bad with money," "I'm not creative." Are these true, or are they simply stories you've been repeating for so long that they've become your reality? Here's the truth: you are none of those things. You are not a fixed identity. You are a fluid, ever-evolving being, and the moment you change the words you use to describe yourself, you change the trajectory of your life. Let's go deeper into this idea of self-talk. Imagine a child who grows up hearing the phrase, "You're so smart." They begin to internalize that belief. When they face challenges, they approach them with confidence because they see themselves as capable. Now imagine a child who grows up hearing, "You're always making mistakes." That belief becomes their internal dialogue. When they face challenges, they're more likely to give up because they've been programmed to believe they'll fail. The words we hear and repeat in our formative years create the foundation for how we see ourselves. But here's the empowering part. No matter what you've been told or what you've told yourself, you can rewrite the script. Rewriting your self-talk isn't about lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing words that align with the reality you want to create. For example, instead of saying, "I'm terrible at public speaking," you could say, "I'm learning how to communicate more confidently." Instead of, "I'll never get this right," you could say, "I'm improving with every attempt." These shifts might seem small, but over time, they create a powerful ripple effect. Your brain starts to focus on growth and possibility rather than fear and limitation. And this isn't just a mental exercise, it's energetic. Words carry vibration, and that vibration affects not only your mind but your entire being. When you speak words of love, gratitude, and empowerment, you raise your vibrational frequency. You align yourself with higher states of being, attracting experiences and opportunities that match that frequency. On the other hand, when you speak words of fear, anger, or self-doubt, you lower your frequency, making it harder to see the possibilities around you. The energy you put out through your words comes back to you. It's a cycle, one that you have the power to direct. But what happens when the words around you aren't in alignment with the reality you want to create? What do you do when you're surrounded by negativity, whether it's from the media, your environment, or the people in your life? This is where the power of discernment comes in. You don't have to accept every word you hear as truth. You get to filter what you let in. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every word you allow in is like a seed being planted. If you let in negativity, fear, and doubt, those are the weeds that will grow. But if you choose to focus on words of hope, inspiration, and love, those are the flowers that will flourish. One of the most effective tools for protecting your mental garden is silence. In a world that constantly demands your attention, silence is a radical act of self-care. It's a chance to pause, to reflect, and to reset. Silence allows you to tune out the noise and tune into your own truth. It's in the stillness that you can ask yourself, what do I really believe? What do I want to create? What words do I want to speak into existence? And in that stillness, you'll find clarity. The power of silence is matched only by the power of intentional speech. When you choose your words carefully, you become a creator rather than a reactor. You stop speaking out of habit and start speaking with purpose. You begin to see every word as an opportunity to shape your reality. Whether you're speaking to yourself, to someone else, or to the universe, your words become a tool for transformation. They become a bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And that's the magic of language. It's not just about describing the world as it is. It's about creating the world as it could be. Every time you speak, you're casting a vote for the reality you want to experience. So, what are you voting for? What reality are you building, one word at a time? Let's take a moment to imagine the reality you want to create. Maybe it's a life filled with abundance, peace, and purpose. Maybe it's about deeper connections, meaningful work, or simply feeling more at ease in your own skin. Whatever that vision is, the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be begins with your words. You might be thinking, how can something as simple as words hold that much power? The answer lies in their ability to focus your mind, direct your energy, and program your subconscious to align with the life you're trying to manifest. Here's how it works. Your mind is constantly listening to you, even when you're not consciously paying attention. When you say, "I'm not good enough," your mind doesn't argue, it doesn't analyze whether that statement is true or not. It simply accepts it and begins to filter your experiences through that lens. You might find yourself avoiding opportunities, sabotaging your own efforts, or interpreting neutral situations as evidence that you're not enough. But when you shift your words, when you say, I am enough, or even, I'm learning to feel more confident in my worth, your mind begins to adjust. It starts seeking out evidence to support that new belief. Slowly but surely, your reality begins to change. This is the same process that shapes your interactions with others. Think about the words you use in your relationships. Are they building connection or are they creating distance? When you say things like, you never listen to me, or you're always like this, you're reinforcing separation. But when you choose words like, I feel hurt when I don't feel heard, or can we find a way to work through this together, you open the door to understanding and healing. Words are not just expressions of how you feel in the moment. They're the foundation upon which relationships are built. But let's go deeper. Words don't just shape individual realities, they shape entire cultures. Consider the narratives we hear constantly in society. There's not enough to go around. Life is a competition. You have to struggle to succeed. These phrases are repeated so often that they feel like absolute truths, but they're not. They're constructs, designed to perpetuate a system of fear, scarcity, and separation. The more people accept these words, the more they act in ways that reinforce them, creating a collective reality of division and lack. Now imagine if we changed the narrative. Imagine if we replaced those words with, there's more than enough for everyone. We thrive when we collaborate. Ease and joy lead to success. How would that shift the energy of a society? Words are like seeds. When planted in fertile soil, they grow into beliefs, behaviors, and systems. The language we use, both individually and collectively, determines the kind of world we create. This is why becoming conscious of your words is so important. It's not just about avoiding negative self-talk or saying a few affirmations here and there. It's about understanding that every word carries energy, and that energy ripples out into the universe. When you say, I'm grateful for this moment, you're sending out a vibration of gratitude that attracts more things to be grateful for. When you say, I trust that everything is working out for my highest good, you align yourself with the flow of life, opening the door for synchronicities and opportunities. But here's where many people get stuck. They think if I just say the right words, everything will change. And while language is powerful, it's only one part of the equation. Words must be paired with intention and belief. It's not enough to say, I'm confident, if deep down you're holding on to doubt and fear. The words you speak need to be backed by the energy of your heart. This is where practices like mindfulness and meditation come in. They help you connect with your deeper truth so that your words become a genuine reflection of what you're cultivating within. Let's talk about one of the most powerful ways to align your words with your reality: affirmations. These aren't just positive phrases you repeat to yourself. They're declarations of the reality you're stepping into. When used intentionally, affirmations can rewire your subconscious mind, helping you break free from old patterns and create new ones. The key is to make them specific, present tense, and emotionally resonant. Instead of saying, I want to feel confident, try saying, I am confident and capable in everything I do. Notice how the energy shifts when you claim it as if it's already true. But here's another secret. Affirmations work best when they're paired with action. If you say, I am healthy and vibrant, but continue to make choices that don't support your well-being, there's a disconnect. Your words and actions need to align for the energy to flow. When they do, it's like flipping a switch. You're no longer just wishing for a better reality, you're actively creating it. Another way to harness the power of language is through reframing. This is especially helpful when dealing with challenges or setbacks. Instead of saying, I failed, try saying, this was a learning experience. Instead of, this is too hard, say, this is an opportunity to grow. Reframing doesn't deny the difficulty of a situation. It shifts your perspective so you can see the possibility within it. And over time, this practice transforms the way you approach life. Challenges become stepping stones. Obstacles become opportunities. You start to see that every experience, no matter how difficult, has something to teach you. And let's not forget the power of silence. In a world that constantly demands our attention, silence is one of the most underrated tools for transformation. When you pause before speaking, you give yourself a moment to choose your words intentionally. You create space to ask yourself, is this true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? That pause can make all the difference between reacting out of habit and responding from a place of clarity and love. Silence also allows you to listen to your inner voice, to the people around you, and to the subtle whispers of the universe. Because here's the truth, the universe is always listening. It responds to the energy you put out through your words, thoughts, and actions. When you speak with intention, when you align your language with your highest vision, you're not just communicating, you're co-creating. You're partnering with the infinite to bring your dreams into reality. So, what words are you choosing today? What story are you telling yourself about who you are and what's possible for you? Because the story you tell becomes the life you live. And the beautiful thing is, you can rewrite that story anytime. With every word you speak, you have the power to create a new chapter, a new reality, a new you. Now that you understand how your words shape your reality, let's talk about how you can truly take control. Because this isn't just about speaking positively or avoiding negativity. It's about becoming a deliberate creator of your life. You are already creating with every word, every thought, every conversation. The question is, are you creating consciously, or are you letting old habits and unconscious patterns run the show? The first step is awareness. Start paying attention to the words you use every day. How do you describe yourself, your circumstances, and your potential? Are you reinforcing beliefs that empower you, or are you unknowingly holding yourself back? When you say things like, I can't afford that, I'm not good at this, or this always happens to me, you're creating a reality where those statements are true. But when you shift your language to, I'm learning how to manage my finances, or I'm becoming better every day, you open the door to new possibilities. Awareness is the foundation. Once you see the patterns, you can start to change them. The next step is intention. Every time you speak, ask yourself, what energy am I putting out into the world? What reality am I creating with these words? Intentional language isn't about being perfect or policing everything you say. It's about speaking with purpose, knowing that your words carry power. For example, instead of saying, I have to go to work, you can say, I choose to contribute to my growth and goals today. That subtle shift changes the energy entirely. You move from feeling obligated to feeling empowered. But here's where the magic happens, when you combine your words with emotion. Words are the vessel, but emotion is the fuel that brings them to life. If you say an affirmation like I am confident and capable, but you say it robotically without feeling it, it won't carry much weight. But when you say it with conviction, when you feel the energy of confidence in your body, your subconscious starts to believe it. Your brain begins to rewire itself, and over time that belief becomes your reality. Feelings amplify your words, making them a powerful force for transformation. And then there's gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational energies you can tap into, and it's directly tied to your words. When you speak words of gratitude, you align yourself with abundance and possibility. You shift your focus from what's lacking to what's already good and beautiful in your life. And the more you focus on what you're grateful for, the more you attract experiences to be grateful for. Gratitude is like a magnet. It pours in more of the same energy, amplifying your joy, your peace, and your sense of fulfillment. But what about the moments when negativity feels overwhelming? When life throws challenges your way and it feels impossible to find the right words? This is where compassion comes in. Compassion for yourself and the understanding that you don't have to be perfect. There will be days when you fall into old patterns, when frustration or fear takes over. That's okay. What matters is that you notice it and choose to redirect. Even in those moments, you can say to yourself, I'm doing the best I can, and that's enough. These simple words have the power to shift your energy, reminding you that growth is a process, not a destination. And here's something most people don't realize. The way you speak to others is just as important as the way you speak to yourself. Your words don't just shape your reality, they shape the reality of those around you. When you choose words of kindness, encouragement, and understanding, you uplift the people in your life. You create a ripple effect of positivity that extends far beyond what you can see. Imagine what would happen if every conversation you had was rooted in connection and intention. How would that transform your relationships, your community, your world? The power of collective language cannot be underestimated. Think of the movements, the revolutions, the breakthroughs that have been sparked by simple yet powerful words. I have a dream. Yes, we can. Love is love. These words didn't just inspire, they activated. They called people to step into a higher vision, to believe in something greater than themselves. And the truth is, you don't have to lead a movement to use your words for good. Every kind word, every uplifting message, every moment of encouragement contributes to the collective energy of the world. Your words matter, and their impact reaches further than you can imagine. But here's the most important takeaway. The power of your words lies in your choice. Every day you have the choice to speak words that create the life you want. You have the choice to let go of the old stories that no longer serve you and write new ones that reflect your highest potential. You have the choice to align your language with your vision, your values, and your truth. And when you make that choice consistently, you become unstoppable. You become a creator, not just of your personal reality, but of a collective future rooted in love, abundance, and possibility. So, let me leave you with a question. What words will you choose today? What story will you write about who you are and what you're capable of? Because the pen is in your hand and the page is blank. You are the author of your life, and every word you speak is a brush stroke on the masterpiece you're creating. Speak with intention. Speak with love. Speak with the knowing that your words hold the power to shape not only your reality but the reality of the world around you. And when you wake up tomorrow, start your day with this simple affirmation. I am the creator of my reality. My words hold power, and I choose to use them wisely. Let these words guide you and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible.